We're at the outdoor lab at Clemson University. This is the inaugural meeting of a group of scientists that work across the country on visitor use management for our national parks primarily, but also protected areas at large. This is a hand-selected group of professionals from across the country. These are all people that have been prominently involved in research, people that work closely with our agencies in building plans and programs for managing visitor use.
One of the major issues that parks have is how to manage people within a protected area environment. So visitor use management is understanding the visitor flow, where people are going and coming in. That's time and type of activity, what people are participating in at the park. But then it's also building and designing those parks to accommodate that use in order to protect the environment in all its qualities.
So we're here talking about kind of the state of our field in visitor use management science, and what are some of the challenges we face, what are some of the persistent issues that we face as scientists in this field, and then what can we do to move our science forward and ultimately help protect visitor users and resources.
I think we're seeing some parks that are just overloaded with use and are kind of just like, what do we do? They're at that breaking point from a management perspective. Also have a lot of other parks and protected areas that don't get a lot of use, or are definitely not those typical just iconic big mountain parks that, you know, but also have a lot of historic cultural significance. And so I think we also see the opposite problem is, how do we get people interested in those parks and feeling a connection? I think we need to be conscious of all of these different trends that are happening, and there's lots of moving parts, and it's not just focused on what's happening in the park or who's showing up, it's also who's not showing up, who's being displaced. What sort of tools can we really get at so we understand this as a system and not just as individual units when we're looking at problems?
So we're talking about all of those kinds of things, the external things like funding in the political and cultural and social environment. We're talking about internal things like, how do we collaborate with each other? How do we train our students? You know, what are our systems of rewards internally to the universities that affect how we do our science?
What's neat about this is that we've got this great collection of experts, and we're all eager to work together. So I think we'll be able to think about some nationally relevant kind of questions that we haven't done before, and it'll take all of us working together to deal with it.
Coming together here with a group of people that study visitor use management is a really exciting thing. And part of that is that we as scientists need to build a community to help each other to better understand our science and reframe some of the problems that we think about and challenges we see in parks.
The opportunity for a couple of days of face-to-face interaction with senior leaders in the field, those of us who've been around now for a few decades, upcoming, rising young scholars. I think it gives us a lot of benefit to gain from each other's insights and experiences and knowledge. I'm looking forward to the opportunity to see what sorts of initiatives arise out of this couple days that we get to spend here.
People go to parks to seek these benefits, these great, deep human benefits, whether that's the psychological benefits like spirituality, or things that you get, the benefits you get from being with family in a park. All those are things that feel good. But that point at which you affect the very thing that you seek begins to get at this idea of visitor capacity. And that is the line that we all need to better understand.
So far, the reception of this meeting, just an opportunity for a bunch of scientists to sit and talk together, has been really positive, and I think we'll definitely continue with an annual meeting of some type. This is a beginning, and I'm optimistic it's going to turn into something that we can make reoccur. So far, it's been valuable, and I think that people want to come back.
Is that a red tail? What is that? Or no, it's a raven. Sorry. I get distracted.